All right. Let's see. Is that better? All right, autofocus. Let's do it. Whew. Okay, we're live. How about that for an awkward start? Actually, not that awkward compared to the way it's been going. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It is Thirsty Thursday, and I said I would probably be on before 9 o'clock, so 8:59. I did my duty. We are here. We are live. We're going to drink some whiskey. I'm very excited. I just scarfed down a chicken sandwich about as quickly as I possibly could. Get a little something in my belly. As if you guys saw the YouTube post that I made, my patrons saw I was in a rehearsal up until 8:30, about a half an hour ago. Ran out of the theater, got home, and had to get everything set up and good to go for tonight. But I'm super stoked to be here and to do a live stream tonight, even though it is a little bit later. I know I'm running over. I believe Drew P. Whiskey is probably at 9 o'clock. So I know we're probably conflicting. I apologize for that. It kind of is what it is. But I got to get my live stream in for the week. And yeah, I'll probably be going for about an hour. Could go over an hour. I don't know. We'll just see. If it's boring, then I'll cut it off at 10. I still got chicken sandwich just all over my face, it feels like. I just scarfed it down. Okay, I got to pour something real quick before we get into the chat, before I say hello to some people here. Let me just get a pour. I think after eating that sandwich, I'm going to go with what I probably started with last week, which is, again, this maple syrup finished Starlight. So good. I am really trying to pace myself through this bottle. And I actually just ordered some of Drew P. Whiskey's Starlight picks that he did. There's like a double oaked rye and an apple brandy finished bourbon. And I wanted to check those out because this bottle's so good. So I'm hoping that those are also going to be killer finished picks from Starlight. So awesome. I'm going to get a quick sip here before I keep going. I need a little whiskey in my bloodstream here. So cheers to all of you. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Oh. So good. All right. Let me pull the chat up here. Let's get it up in front of me and say hello to all of you fine folks in the house. All righty, here we go. So yeah, like I said, just got out of rehearsal. The plan for tonight is going to be a blind flight sent in by Amy Boehm. Also, Amy, I've been meaning to ask you, is your last name pronounced Boehm or Boehm? Because Sarah and I have a friend named Corey Boehm, spelled the exact same way. And if I've been pronouncing your last name wrong this entire time, I'm going to feel like a total jerk. The same with Adriana. I said Adriana for a while and found out it's Adriana. I want to make sure I get people's names right. So for any of you, if I ever pronounce your name wrong, please let me know. Okay. Roy R's in the house. Good to see you. And Tom as well. Yoon of Poke. Austin, what's up, man? Good evening and cheers, drums and drammers. Yes. Too many of us are multi-streaming. Yeah, Tom, I know. And you're probably hanging out with Drew P. Whiskey tonight because you're one of his mods, but it is what it is. Matt, what is up? I did go straight from drums to drams this evening. Yes, I did. I was playing triangle glockenspiel, some drum set, and some snare drum, and now I'm drinking whiskey. Amy, what is up? You are the star of the show tonight. Food flight. That's funny. Yes, Amy set me up perfectly to show all of you the answers as we move along here. So I'm stoked about that. Hendo, what is up? I know. Surprises me too, to be honest with you. And I got something to say about that, actually. Carl, hey, man, how's it going? I'm going to finish up with the Octomore Masterclass that I tried a month or two ago that you sent along. I'm stoked to revisit that one. But I got to end with that because it's going to melt my face. Actually, those are pretty darn good. They're not as intense as I thought they might be. All right, Matt, I actually got this before the stream. As I was plugging it in, I came back and I saw you commented this. So thank you for the heads up. Colin, how's it going? Richie, how's it going? Jeff, your samples from last week from the giveaway should be there. I think Monday is what it's saying. So let me know when you get those. We also have a giveaway tonight for all of you. We'll talk about that in a second. Utha, how are you? How are you doing? Yeah, you made it just in time for the music. Okay. Jeffrey Whack. Peaceful music before. Yeah. I don't know. I hope it's not going to be chaos. True music, man. Maybe. What's up, Kilko? How's it going? Guy in the house, Sherry G. Adriana. Focus, Daniel, son. Yes, please hit the like button, everybody, as we get started here. 47 in the chat. I don't know how many likes. 19. Yeah, please hit the like button. Come on, y'all. All right, I'm scrolling down. Sorry, I just got to get through this. I see Tim. I see Cheech. I see a lot of folks. Okay, it is Boehm. Okay, cool. Yeah, join me with the Octomore. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, guys. So I'm going to move along tonight. I don't want to get bogged down in the chat. I'll be a little more involved than I was last week. Sarah was maybe going to jump on tonight. We decided we're going to wait for another week. We'll probably do some scotch together. Her and I have been drinking a lot of scotch together this last week. It's been a lot of fun to drink together again. I feel like I'm always drinking bourbon, and she tends to not drink so much bourbon. She's actually been on a sour kick, drinking a lot of cherry sours that we have. And then we move back into scotch. And the other night, what did I get her into? Oh, some Glen Scotia double cask she really likes now. So, yeah, I think we're probably going to do a scotch with Sarah and Cam live stream. Maybe Sunday scotch with Sarah and Cam. Maybe we'll do one of those or something like that. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. So tonight, yeah, I'm going to do this flight from Amy. I've got all of the pieces of that flight here. I have, let's see, you probably can't see this, but these are envelopes with like nosing and palate questions like Matt Porter's been doing for the ADHD whiskey thing. And then underneath that, I can't flip this around or I'll see the answers. I have black note cards with the answers and then a key with extra details. So you will get the answers along the way as I do this blind flight. We're going to lead off with the blind flight, probably do 30 minutes on that. And then we're also going to, after the blind flight, I had my patrons at the last minute vote on what else to do tonight. I'm going to pour a couple of samples of Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, which is an often overlooked single barrel from Wild Turkey. It's essentially 101, but it's the single barrel version of that. My shelfer is not great. You know, I like it. It's fine. I'd rather drink 101, to be honest with you. And so I have two store picks of that. One from Keith Schmidt and one from Tom Lynch. So I will pour all of these out and do a little comparison to see if the store picks are any better than the shelfer. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. And then I'll finish off with some Octomore 8.1 masterclass from Carlo Mack in the chat. So that's kind of the plan for this evening. There will be a giveaway. I'm sorry I'm talking so much up front. I'll get to tasting in a second. There will be a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away for, every $5 super chat will get you an entry. If there's a mod in the house that can keep track, that would be amazing. If nobody can, I can definitely do it. It'll just be a little clunkier throughout. But if there is a mod in the house that can keep track of super chats, that would be amazing. Every $5 gets people an entry. We're going to be giving away this Penelope Barrel Strength Batch 6. I have an extra bottle of this, and I decided I'd like to give one away. And I'm also, with that bottle, going to give away some pretty baller samples. Some of them from Keith Schmidt, some of them from me. Keith sent in a bunch of samples for giveaways and for me as well. So there might be some Old Carter in there. There might be some Kentucky Owl in there. And also I'll throw in some Chateau de la Bade and some other really ballin' samples. So every $5 super chat tonight gets you entered into that giveaway. So we're doing that whole thing tonight. No infinity bottle this evening. That's going to come back next week. I don't want to beat a dead horse with that. So that is the dealio. Richie Z. Yeah, can you track super chats, Richie? That would be awesome. Let me know. Let's figure that out first before we get that going. If nobody can, then I'll have to do it. Or maybe I can hire Sarah to do it. Maybe I can convince her. Adriana says, "What's a cherry sour?" I'm talking beer. So there's a great place here called Rock Mill Brewery, about 40 minutes away from where I live, and they do some really great work with like farmhouse ales, different sours, things like that. And they make a really mean cherry sour. So yeah, love that stuff. Oh, thank you, Will Henderson, for getting it kicked off here with the super chats. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man. Awesome. Okay, well, let's get down to it. Let me know what you're sipping on this evening. Again, I've got my maple syrup finish in my glass. So good. SG Flying High. What is up? $15 super chat. Thank you so much. That is awesome. 3 entries into the old giveaway. So yeah, I can. If nobody else can keep track on a sheet here, I can definitely do it. Just let me know if anybody would be able to make that happen before we really get deep into the super chats, deep into the stream here. Even if you're not a mod, I can mod someone up, you know. So anyways, that is that. Okay. Beautiful. All right, let's get these samples poured out here, y'all. Oh my gosh, super chats galore. Oh, Adriana, Richie Z. Adriana's going to track it. Thank you so much. That would be awesome. So right now we got 7 entries. 1 from Hendo, 3 from Sherry G, 1 from Josh, and 2 from AM65. So thank you, Josh. Sipping on some Murray Hill Club. When I drank that for the first time last week with Eric Waite from Eric Waite Whiskey Studies, I really like that stuff. I have got to get a bottle of that when the Bourbon Piggy Bank comes back online. Right now I'm a little tapped out. Old Fortune 1920 at the moment. Cheers. Yeah, that's a great choice there. I'm going to be comparing that in an upcoming video with the Woodford Batch Proof, I believe. So keep a lookout for that. Richie says, I am keeping track of people. And oh, Richie is doing it. Richie, if you're on an iPhone, man, let's just let Adriana do it if she's on a laptop, and we can spare you the hassle of trying to do it on an iPhone. Oh, little Glenfiddich 15. Great choice. I haven't had any Fiddick 15 for like 3 or 4 months at this point. So nice, David. Nice. Cheers to you, Dustin. Thanks for jumping in here. Daniel P, sign me up. Just polished off the Texas 2 blend. I actually have the Sam Houston Texas 2 blend. That's a pretty good one, actually. I like it a little better than the Indiana 1 batch, which is the other one that I have. Okay, Adriana, you got it. Thank you, Richie. Thanks for understanding. Adriana, just confirm with me that you got all of those people. John, I have not posted the Penelope review yet. I'm going to be getting that up probably this weekend, if not early next week. I've been really behind on everything, and I do apologize about that. But tomorrow at noon, I'm going to be premiering a new video, my 5 ryes that you need to have, because the Bourbon Junkies called me out to make my video, my version of that. So that is coming tomorrow, and that's going to kick off all of these new video releases that I've been working on slowly but surely. JG wants to roll the dice, jump in here. 877 match now. Cheers, man. Thank you so much. Drew, my first round opponent in Matt Madness. That's going to be Jason C from the Mash and Drum. So drummer versus drummer. I don't know when it's going to be yet, but that is my... Oh, and Trev Wilson, I think, is now in that bracket because of the mishap on his first round. So I think it's a 3-way now with 3 different drummers, which will be hilarious. Yeah, Adam, I am thinking that that's going to happen soon. I don't know how soon yet, but probably in the next month, I'll be able to get a full lineup review of Joseph Magnus. Yeah, that live stream was a little all over the place, but so much fun with Eric. We were able to talk about a lot of different things than whiskey, and it was actually more fun that way for me. All righty, y'all. Okay, so we got super chats tracked right now, which is awesome. We have everything ready to go. So let's get to it finally. I got to pull up 5 glasses. Okay, so normal rules for the Matt Madness tasting competition is that you only pour these when Matt tells you to pour them. I'm not doing that. I'm going to pour all of these out right now just because it's going to be easier that way. Adriana got her first E.H. Taylor today. Single barrel. Even with next to no finish. Oh, no. Maybe you got a bad barrel. I mean, well, nothing Buffalo Trace sub 120 proof has any finish, but I love my E.H. Taylor single barrel. I will say that. Okay, glass A. Let's go here for glass A. Well, I'm going to try to pour out half of these samples. I like to try to save these as much as I possibly can. All right, glass B. Also, check this out, guys. Amy put googly eyes on all the labels for these samples. So we got the letter and the googly eyes. I think that's awesome. Okay, let's go B here. I'm spilling stuff. Okay. Ooh. Ryan Robertson, what's up, man? How's it going? Good to see you. And your samples are also on the way. I hope Siri is good to me 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. Let's hope. If you do, you'll be like the most winningest person on the channel of like the 2 giveaways that I've ever had. So you like the single barrel. Okay, and we watched your vid on it to try it. Accidental score MSRP. Holy crap. Go buy as many as you can at MSRP. That's amazing. That is amazing. All righty. Sorry, I'm going to pour these out quickly now. Amy, you send these in such incredibly scientific looking tubes or vials or whatever they are. Okay. Last one. Drew says the fatal 3-way. Oh, geez. Yeah, Uta, Amy is awesome. Thank you, Amy, for sending these. She like jumped on it immediately and got these out, and they arrived yesterday just in time. So, okay, let's get started here with the tasting. I'll try to keep up with the chat, guys. I will try to keep up. Oh yeah, I forgot. Jason can't stop talking about SIBA. That's funny. And I guess I never noticed that. Drew, I forgot you mentioned something about black art. I've never had any of that. I bet that stuff is absolutely incredible. Yeah, Edward, I feel your pain. Okay, guys, section 1 is nosing. So I've got 30 seconds for all of these, just like with the Matt competition. And I'm going to pull up the Jeopardy music that he uses as well, just to add a little bit of something here. So first up, we have letter A, 30 seconds to nose. The question, is this from Wild Turkey, Maker's Mark, or Buffalo Trace Distillery? Let me get ready to write my answer. I'm going to type them out because I would have to type them out to Matt. So let's do this. Wild Turkey, Maker's Mark, or Buffalo Trace? All right. I'm going to go with Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey on A. That is my final answer. Wild Turkey. Okay. So that's got like, definitely has some sweetness to that. And let me show you what is in this glass before we move on. I forgot to do this, and I'll do it for all of the next ones. So in glass A, we have this. Give me a thumbs up to let me know you can see it. Amy, let me know if it's good to go here. This is what is in glass A. Wild Turkey, Buffalo Trace, or Maker's Mark. I'm saying Wild Turkey. Had a little too much cinnamon for me to be Buffalo Trace. Wasn't quite sweet and honey enough. But let's, we'll see what happens here. That's my final answer for that. Amy, I know. I'm so sorry. I got it after the fact. There we go. Carl says you drove 5 hours to Orlando because, oh my God. That's tragic. I did that with Indianapolis with a Springbank 2020 release, which I've just resigned myself that I'll never have that bottle. But I would love to get one. Unipoke says, I'm going to look at the answers at the very end of all of this. I have 5 nosings and 5 tastings, and then I'll try to guess all of the bottles, and then I will look at the end. Awesome. Okay. So number 1, I'm saying Wild Turkey on the nose. It could change. So let's go to number 2 now. We'll move right along with this. Don't want to bore anybody. So let me put this, make sure this is the right one. I'm sorry, I do have to nose this. Okay. That's that. And this is my maple syrup. Okay, good. Okay, on to B. On to B now. Something about OSU. Oh, gosh. All right, on to B. The question for B, is this over or under 100 proof? Here we go. Oh, this smells like an ashtray a little bit. Pretty kind of watery, but there's a weird ashtray / spice note in here. But still pretty light. I'm going to have to say under 100 proof. Final answer. Little Jeopardy music. Great. All right. Under is my... God bless America. I didn't show you what's on the card. I'll do it next time. I promise. Here's what's in glass B that I just smelled. And now we're playing Jeopardy music again. There we go. That is what is in glass B. I'm so sorry. I'll get better at this. I promise. Amy, I'm sorry. I'm blowing it. I'm blowing it. All right. Sweet. Oh, I feel so stressed with Jeopardy music. Holy crap. I'm telling you what. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I feel like I saw some black art. I see you guys talking about black art still. I feel like I saw some in Indiana when I went over there bourbon hunting, but I think it's like $400 and it's just, a little out of my price range. Edward says, my Michter's 10 has an ashtray finish. Can't stand it. Yeah, I've never smelled anything quite like what I just smelled. That was definitely very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I'm going to say it's under 100 proof. So, all right, let's go to C, glass C. This is what's in glass C. And I'll show you guys all of these when we go back through and taste them as well. So there's glass C. Put that down. The question for glass C, is this bourbon or not a bourbon? So let me grab glass C and let's get to it. Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, it's got that craft grain smell that is super confusing, like a Woodinville or something. Very sweet. I would assume it's a bourbon unless it's something like a wheat whiskey, you know what I mean? Or something like that. All right, I got to lock it in. I'm going to say it is a bourbon. Yes. All right, here we go. So I'm going to say glass C is a bourbon. But that's confusing. These craft grain smells are so strange in a lot of these bottles that are coming out from like other states outside of Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee. We have some of those here in Ohio, a lot of them in New York, obviously like the Pacific Northwest. I feel like the grains just taste so different and it can be so confusing, but that definitely had that Woodinville quality to it, just a little bit. John says, watch out for the soy sauce. What is up? Cheers. Good to see you in here. Drew, I was a huge fan of glass C. May need to pick another one up. Interesting. It didn't smell like I'm going to enjoy it on the palate, but we'll see at the end of this how it all goes. We will see how it all goes. Did he say over, under? I said under for a glass B. Under. All righty. Folks, those are shelf turds. Guess 145 proof. That's hilarious. Guys, oh my God, 500 before tax. That's crazy. Remember, $5 super chat gets you entered to win the Penelope barrel strength batch 6. Penelope barrel strength batch 6. And a whole host of killer samples from Keith Schmidt and me. Probably throw in like 6 to 8 samples of really high quality stuff. So $5 super chats. Every $5 will get you another entry. And Adriana, Whiskey Mountains, keeping track of that. And Adriana, I'm shouting you out on a video tomorrow, by the way. Just a little heads up ahead of time. Get a little shout out. All right, let's get into glass D now. Let me show you what is in glass D. So here is what we've got. Let's see what the question for glass D is. Is this from Kentucky? Oh my God, this is tough because I am not super familiar with New York or Texas whiskey. Is this from Kentucky, New York, or Texas? Oh, thank you, Amy. You did not. I feel bad. You didn't have to super chat. You sent the whole flight in. I owe you so much for doing this for me. But thank you so much, Amy. You're the star of the show tonight. I really appreciate it. One of the, you should jump on and do one. You should jump on and do a blind flight with like 2 or 3 people one of these days, and sit there and watch them be miserable with everybody online and laugh at them. Like when Will Henderson did that with me and Scott from my bourbon journey, I thought that was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, a little shout out tomorrow. You'll see. I got to get that video done. I'm like halfway done editing it, but yeah, noon tomorrow Eastern time, I think is when it's gonna release. Okay, Glass D. Is this from Kentucky, New York, or Texas? Let's check it out. All right. It's got a little Dickel quality, but Tennessee's not an answer here. It smells very Kentuckian, actually. Doesn't quite have that Texas whiskey thing. In New York, it's not craft. I gotta say Kentucky. 30 seconds is not enough time. All right, there we go. Again, this is what's in the glass. This is what is in the glass. Kentucky, Texas, or New York. The only New York stuff I've had, few and far between, the Hill Rock stuff that Keith Schmidt sent me, and then a couple of other things here and there, but that's it, you know? So Mike says, Adriana needs something to do, and I like free stuff. Well, there you go. You might get some free stuff tonight. That's awesome. Cheers, Colin. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And Richie Z coming in with a $10 super chat. He is in for 2 as well. Cheers, man. I've got to get a sip of something before I keep going. This is not any of the competition stuff. This is, again, my maple syrup finish. Oh. I hate only nosing whiskey. I feel like I'm missing out on something, you know? Hey, guys, if you haven't liked this video, please drop a like here. We got 44 likes, 53 in the chat. So just drop a little like there. That would help so much. Mike, I can see Matt's frustration. It was not late. It was locked in at the last minute. John says, how was the Hill Rock? Very interesting. A lot of them were bad, and a couple of them were really good. And then a lot of them were also pretty middle of the road. But the Sauterne finished cask strength rye that they do, unbelievably good. The malted rye was really wacky. There was some Solera aged cask strength bourbon that I liked a good bit. And then the Pedro Jimenez finish was also pretty good of the cask strength rye. The port finish rye was okay. The 92.8 proof bourbon or whatever that was okay. But the Sauterne finished cask strength rye, that is the one that I thought was just absolutely fantastic. I'm going to test it one more time, and I might have to have Keith pick me up one and ship it out here if the budget allows that to happen, because it was really, really good. Okay, let's go on to Glass E. The final glass here. Hey, Amy, there's a 6th black sheet here. Can I look at that? Because I see there are words on the bottom. I can see that there are some down there. Should I look at this sheet, or should I keep this hidden? Let me know. I won't look at it if I'm not supposed to. Okay, so here's Glass E. Here's what we have. So let's get into it. The question for Glass E: Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, or a craft bottling? Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, or a craft bottling? Glass E. It's just a blank card, says Amy. Don't look. Answers on this side. Okay. Awesome. All right. Glass E, here we go. Let's check it out. It's nice and sweet and low proof. It feels Buffalo Tracy. I've got to say Buffalo Trace on this. Ooh, I got chicken in my teeth from that sandwich I ate before the live stream. Not great. All right. Buffalo Trace. Boom. Locked it in. All right. God, that one was a little bit tough, but I feel like you got to go with your gut instinct on these, you know? And that's the one thing I've learned from doing my first round of this competition before it was the competition with Trev, with Matt Porter. We did a head-to-head flight, and anything that was my first impression was always right. So I've got to always go with that, it seems like, at this point. So I'm saying that that is a Buffalo Trace bottling. So that's the nosing section. We are now done with the nosing. So I'll put this behind me here. I feel like I got something in my teeth that is not flattering. Good old grilled chicken, right? Sugar Kitty, that's hilarious. Buffalo Trace or Buffalo Chicken. So you're saying Buffalo Trace tastes like chicken. I hope not. Somebody do a super chat for I should go in the other room and just check out the old situation here. I think we're okay, maybe. Okay. All right, so get out the questions for the palette now. Let's get to it. Did I miss any super chats here? I don't think I did. I think I'm good. No, Richie Z was the last one. Remember, any $5 gets you entered into the giveaway. Penelope Barrel Strength Batch 6 and a host of really great samples every $5 that you super chat. And also, reminder to like the video. Let's get into it. Let's get into it here. Okay, I'm good to go. Glass A. Back to Glass A, this time tasting it. Reminder of what's in Glass A. And my first answer was that this is a Wild Turkey product, but God only knows. God only knows what this is. The question is the secondary grain, wheat, rye, or malt. So give me a second to get that Jeopardy music back up. And here we go. Glass A on the palette. Secondary grain, wheat, rye, or malt. Here we go. 2 sips is all I get. Oh, no. I don't know if this is turkey. Tastes kind of weedy. I've got to say rye. I said rye. It might be wheat. I said rye. It's got a lot of black pepper to it, but the taste is kind of rounded and sweet. I don't know. I had to go with rye at the last minute. Oh, okay. Crap. Reminder, that's what that was. I feel like I'm going to hate myself at the end of this. Okay. JG. Chopper Sticks Dental Fund. That's why I'm not smiling on this side. I'm going to just smile out of this side of my mouth because I feel like I got something over here. That's okay. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for the dental fund here. Richie Z says, go with your gut. Yeah, I should. I need to. I just didn't think it, like, I guess it could have been a Weller or a Maker's Mark were the two options from the first thing. But I said it was turkey, and I kind of trapped myself in there thinking that it's rye. So anyways, that's the confusing part of this. That's what makes this hard, is like trying to stay consistent from nose to taste and not second guess yourself throughout that. So anyways, here is B. Here's what is in B, just a reminder to all of you. And let's check out what I'm going to be tasting for this time. John says, I'm down for some baller samples and the Penelope, even without the review. Yeah, the Penelope, it's developing a little bit for me. It's very interesting, and I think a lot of people are going to like it, especially people that like MGP. It's changing so much that I didn't want to put my review out yet. Same thing with the Woodford Batch Proof. That thing is kind of evolving, and I didn't want to rush the review, so I've been spending time with these bottles. So the first one that you see come out might actually end up being the Chattanooga Rye, which is one I've been wanting to review for a while, or the Balcones Lineage before those other two, just because, you know, I feel like it's just kind of morphing a little bit as it opens up. Carl, I've never had that before. I've never had anything except the Lineage, which Colin sent me. So I need to get some more Balcones. I think we have that in Ohio, actually. Okay, on to B now. I don't remember if I showed you this. This is, again, a reminder of what's in glass B. And let's go ahead and check this out. On the palate, I have 2 sips to answer. Is this finished in PX, port barrels, or is it not finished? Okay, here we go. 30 seconds. Again, this is that one with that ashtray quality to it, that smokiness. My mind went to PX. I'm going to say PX cask. It's either PX or not finished, but I'm saying PX. All right. Oh, I bet it's port. I think this is finished. And I think it's port. Now that the finish is developing, maybe next time I'm only going to take one sip instead of two sips, because two sips, you don't even get to the finish, which has a lot of information in it about the whiskey. Yeah, definitely finished, but I don't know if it's port or PX. I do not know. Let's see. Mike says, I've not had any Balcones yet. Didn't love my Iron Root, so a little hesitant on Texas stuff. Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews on the Iron Root and Balcones, to be honest with you guys. But I have tried like the best Iron Root probably that exists, which was, I think, blended by a lot of the guys at the Bastards Ball the last time they had that. Jason has a bottle at his place, and it was so good. So good. DC, happy Thursday to you, man. Cheers. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Good to see you. Bourbon, what's up? Matt says, go with the gut on the palate, even when it doesn't match your nose and guess. Okay. Dang. That means maybe I'm not doing so well right now. Thank you, Adriana, for reminding everybody. Thank you. All right, so that was Glass B. I said PX. What did I say before? I said that it was under something, under 100 proof. I don't know if that really tasted under 100 proof when I just put it on the palate, but it is what it is at this point. Okay, let's go for Glass C now. Let's go for Glass C. Let me show you what's in here just as a reminder. All righty. So let's get into it now. Glass C. The question, is this Brown-Forman, Buffalo Trace, or a craft distillery? Lots of distillery questions. Let's get to it. Jeffrey, I'll get your super chat in just a second. 30 seconds. Brown-Forman, Buffalo Trace, or craft? This has to be craft. This has to be. Oh, yeah. That's got to be craft. Actually, really pretty darn good on the palate. All right. We can kill the Jeopardy music. I got that one quick. That's got to be a craft whiskey. Although it has some banana. It could be Brown-Forman. But I've got to say that's craft. I can't let anything deceive me here. All right, Jeffrey. If I could bet on this tournament in Vegas, you would be my Cinderella pick to win it all. Dark horse contender right here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Matt was saying the same thing to me. He was like, you could be a dark horse in the tournament. It's kind of fun. I mean, nobody knows, the Drums and Drams channel yet. Nobody knows it. And it was funny when the Bourbon Junkies were drafting their teams for the old Charter Infinity Bottle project that Matt started. And I got drafted last, and they're like, who's Drums and Drams? And I think that's hilarious, but I hope in this tournament that I at least do well enough to be like, I don't know, to feel like I kind of proved a little, not that we have anything to prove, we're just hanging out on YouTube and, having fun. But I get really competitive. It's the musician and the music thing that I do, that whole career and my personality, competitive. And so I really want to do well. So yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it causes me, when I'm tasting it, it's one thing to hear the music and it does cause anxiety. It's worse when I'm playing it myself and I look down at my phone and I see the time ticking away on the YouTube bar. That's worse when you're like, I have 9 seconds. I don't like knowing that. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah, I know, right? Well, the Trev thing is, I don't actually talk that much smack ever in my life, but I thought we were doing it. And then Trev didn't go as hard as I went. And then I felt like a dick. So, oh, also, before I forget, the orchestra concert that I'm playing right now, I've got a concert tomorrow night. We're doing a recording session instead of a concert because of the live stream stuff. And then Saturday, I've got a different set of concerts. For the concert tomorrow night, I've had some rehearsals the last few days. I brought my drum stool over there because I'm playing drum set on the concert with glockenspiel, triangle, all that stuff. And that drum stool is what I use to record my videos because it's able to get awkwardly high. And so I don't have anything else in my house that I can sit on that gets me to that height. So right now I'm sitting on the chair that's usually on that side of the table. And I'm sitting on about 14 inches of books stacked on top of the chair because I forgot to bring the drum stool home tonight. So I am like horribly uncomfortable right now because I'm sitting on this. This is my top textbook. It's Sarah's Tonal Harmony from when we were in college. So this is what I'm sitting on right now. And it is killing me. So anyways, first world problems. Okay. We just did C. So let me put that away. Let me remind you all what is in glass D. Here we go. Okay. So there's glass D. The question for glass D, guess the age. Straight up guess the age. And I think for Matt's purpose, you want to really be within 1 year, it seems like, in that tournament. So here we go. 30 seconds to guess the age on the palette. Smells like a Russell's Reserve 10. That's what this smells like. I'm going to say, could be 12. Nice and oaky peanut butter profile. I've got to say 10 years old because I feel like that's a Russell's 10. Although the age makes me think 12. I'm going to go with 10. 10 years old. I am going to call that bottle Russell's 10. I think I'm absolutely going to call that. So there we go. That was my guess for D, 10 years old. Let's move swiftly along. And remember, for those of you just jumping in here, I sound like a broken record. $5 super chat. Every $5 gets you in a giveaway to win this Penelope Barrel Strength Batch 6 and a whole bunch of really nice samples. All right, here we go. Cheers, Barry. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Hang on. I missed the comment up here that I wanted to... Mike, that's why your books smell funny. Hell yeah. All of my books are going to smell like booty sweat at this point. Let's see. Richie Z says, Cam, you totally can read sheet music, I would bet. Yeah. My dad cannot read music. He's self-taught. He is a self-taught guitar player, and he's super freaking good. And that's kind of why I got into music in the first place, was listening to him play guitar and listening to 80s music from him and country music from my mom growing up. But yeah, I can definitely read sheet music, although not as good as I would like. Percussion is a different animal when you're reading mallet music and you're reading music that's 2 feet away from you, but it's like 3 feet above your instrument. And so you're playing without looking, and you're watching a conductor. Like, the whole thing is so different than having the tactile experience of holding a wind instrument or touching a piano. We don't touch our instrument. So it's always a little bit different for us, a little more challenging. You're getting the osmosis learning from the wrong end. That's hilarious. Oh, Lito, what's up, man? Nothing but the eye of the tiger, brother. Rooting for you. Also, a little something will be heading your way soonish. Oh, I can't wait. Lito, you always come through with some killer samples. I've saved like this much of the Doers 27 and the Redbreast 21 because I want to put those in an episode of Quick Sips. So whenever I get these really awesome samples, I want to drink them all, but I have to save a little bit because I know I'm going to use them for an episode. Dude, you sent some great stuff. Thank you, man. I appreciate the super chat. And you've been a supporter since day freaking one. So, okay, guys. So many comments about the books and my butt. Let's move on now. Osmosis. Drew, that's awesome. Okay. Glass E, the final question before I try to guess these bottles. Here we go. This is a reminder of what's in Glass E. Also, for those of you wondering, I got the chicken out of my teeth. So it's a great freaking night. Glass E. Question is Guess the proof. Guess the proof on Glass E. Here we go. 30 seconds. 2 sips. Go. Smells around 100. A little more than 100 on the palate, maybe. Taste Buffalo Tracy. I'm going to say 105. All right, 105. It tastes Buffalo Tracy. I don't know what it would be. In the finish now, it seems way higher than 105. So, I don't know. We'll see what that one is. Okay. And now, Amy, I know you didn't include this in here, but I am going to take about 2 minutes here and try to guess these bottles. I'll kind of talk through my tasting notes as I go down the line here. I think Matt actually might give 3 minutes to do this. I can't remember, 3 or 4. So I'm going to start a stopwatch. I'll go 3 minutes down the line. I got the bourbon belches. This happens every week. It's so gross. And I'm going to try to guess these bottles here. So I'm not really going to look at my other answers because I don't want to get confused. Let's get to it. AM65 says, I'm hoping for a tie like with Dan and Griso, and you and Jason both advanced, but ADHD might have learned from last week. Well, I'm not going to drink all of my samples like Dan and Grease did. So if he calls for a crazy tasting note, I want to be able to give him one if that's the tiebreaker. Thank you, Nate. I really appreciate it. Going for 2 entries in the giveaway tonight. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, I am got some more content coming out now. I've been on a little break for the last 6 days because I am just trying to manage life, manage work, especially as a lot of gigs are coming back now in the music world, which is a great thing. And yeah, I'm going to get into a better rhythm here, I think, going especially into next week. But a new video tomorrow. So looking forward to that. Rick says, blame the chicken for the bell. I know I scarfed all this food down before the stream to try to keep myself as sober as possible. I just swirled my water like it's whiskey. Okay, now I'm going to start the time to guess what these are. So let's go to Glass A. See if I can get this guy. I had said this was wild turkey and rye, but I remember thinking it could have been wheat. Yeah, interesting. I might need to pour a little bit more into A from the sample. I feel like when you get too low in your glass, you have a really hard time smelling it. A is really sweet. I mean, I don't know. Really low proof. It could have some peanut in here. There's a little bubble gum. I don't feel like this is a wild turkey that I know, even though I guess wild turkey. It could be Buffalo Trace. It could be a Weller product because I said it could be wheat. You know, this might be a Weller Special Reserve. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Weller Special Reserve for Glass A. Just a reminder, there's Glass A. All right. Let's put that down. So, I don't know. That's a tough one. Doug H. DC, swirled your water, bro. I know I've got issues. Doug H. Always enjoy your channel. Cheers. Cheers to you, Doug. Thank you so much. And just another reminder, everybody, $5 super chat. Every $5 gets you entered into the giveaway for this evening. All right. Let's go on to Glass B now. And this was, I said, under 100 proof. And then I said it was PX finished. And then I felt shitty about that. And I said maybe it's port finished. But I think it is a finished whiskey. So let's see what this could be. Yeah, that tobacco. That's what that note is. I said ashtray. There is a distinct tobacco note in here. Cigar tobacco. A little rubber. Well, that makes me think PX, you know. The rubber has got that sherry quality. I don't know port to have this much of a rubbery thing going on. I'm going to say the proof seems low. I think I'm right on the proof. I think it's under 100 proof. I'm going to say this is Woodinville port finish, a bottle I've never had. But of the port finish bottles I've had, I'm going against my previous answers now, I'm going against the PX finish. I think this is under 100 proof, and it's not Angel's Envy, and it's not any other port finish I've ever had that I can tell. I'm going to say Woodinville Port. Although I haven't had Angel's Envy in a while, so I could be wrong. All right, on to Glass C. I'm sorry, I'll check the chat in just a second. Glass C. This one has a very distinct craft smell. I said it is a bourbon, and I said that it is a craft bourbon, so. I'm not going to waste time on that. I have no guess to what that bottle could be. I'm just going to say I'm going to say it's a Matty Gladden. The Matty Gladden by Spirits of French Lick. I have that bottle. It tastes similar. I don't have a lot of experience with it. Let's move on to D. D, I said, was from Kentucky and 10 years old. Right. I thought this was a Russell's 10. I'm going to stand by that. And finally, E. E is very sweet, very Buffalo Tracy. And I said it was Buffalo Trace. It's got a little Weller foolproof vibe to it. It could be that. It could be that. I said it was 105 proof. I think I'm low on the proof. Well, it could be an antique. It could be Weller Antique. Little... I'm going to say Weller Foolproof. Okay. So what did I take? 4.5 minutes on that based on my time. So that's okay. Little long there. All right. Let me check the chat here. Thank you, Adriana, again for hyping that up. Do I have you as a mod? I need to mod you, Adriana. If that's okay with you, let me know. I need to give you the old mod status there. Wrench. That's what they call it. Wrench. Carl says, generally I can tell a sherry finish from port. I feel like I can too, especially with Scotch, but on bourbon, there's so many things that get in the way with the bourbon, with the spice, with everything like that. Makes it tough. Dave, what's up, man? Cheering for you. Thank you so much. And you're sending me some pretty awesome samples. And I feel guilty when people send me really nice samples, especially the level that you're sending. So thank you so much for that, man. I super appreciate it, and I will definitely make a video of the two that you said that are on their way right now. I cannot wait to try those. I cannot wait. Game for not being a naked wrench. LOL. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah, let me do that. How do I let me make sure I can add moderator. Boom. There you go. Okay, I want to get to these answers because it's 9:52. It's way later than I thought it was going to be when I finished this. So, Glass A. I said A was Wild Turkey. The question was, is it from Wild Turkey, Maker's Mark, or Buffalo Trace? Here's the key. Okay. Is this from Wild Turkey, Maker's Mark, or Buffalo Trace? I said it was from Wild Turkey, and then the palate. The question was, is it secondary grain wheat, rye, or malt? I said the secondary grain was rye, and I called the bottle as Weller Special Reserve. Let me just check out what is in there. Glass A. Oh, shit. Maker's Mark 101. I said something about it feeling weedy, and then I called rye like a total idiot. So, okay, I need to go with my first impression on that. Maker's Mark 101. So I totally fudged that one. Okay. Amy, should I look at the key or should I look at the black note cards for the answers here? Let me know. I'll look at the key. Okay, second glass. Glass B. This is one with that weird tobacco note. Amy says either one is fine. Okay, the weird tobacco note. I said it's under 100 proof. I said it's a PX finish, which I'm about now. And then I called the bottle as Woodinville port finish. So let's see. Glass B, Isaac Bowman, straight bourbon port barrel finish. So Isaac Bowman. So I got under 100 proof. I did get that correct. I said PX finish. It's actually port. So then when I called Woodinville port, I was closer. But yeah, that's got a distinct note in that port finish that I've never gotten or never noticed really on the Isaac Bowman, which is that tobacco / rubber note in there. So, okay, not great. That was one where I drank it too quickly and I needed to allow it to get into the finish before I had my second sip. So I'm going to remember that for the tournament, to let the first sip sit until you get into the finish before taking another one. So, okay, glass C. This is that craft one. Although it kind of smells like a 1792 product. With that kind of banana note, but it's got this weird grain quality. I said it was bourbon instead of not bourbon, and I said it was a craft distillery, and I called the bottle as the Matty Gladden. This is Woodford Reserve wheat whiskey. So the banana note that I got was correct in the fact that it's Brown-Forman, and that weird grain character is the wheat that is added here. I've never actually tried the Woodford wheat whiskey. Yeah, wow, that is so distinct. All right. That is a really, really great, tricky pour, Amy. That is freaking tricky. Wow. You are evil. You are evil for that one. Oh, my goodness. Richie says, you nailed the Makers 101 being a weeder. Yeah, it's like, sometimes I say, oh, it's kind of like wheat. Oh, but I really think it's this. Whatever I said at the very beginning, that throwaway line, oh, I think it might be a weeder, that is the first impression. The first impression isn't what you settle on. And sometimes I feel that way, like, oh, I've settled on this. No, the first impression is that immediate first 2 seconds. Go with that answer. And I need to get there. Yeah, you're right, DC. It can be sweet or funky. And that Woodford it's a funkier wheat. I mean, it's sweet and banana forward like a Brown-Forman, but definitely has a distinct funk. Okay, on to the last two now. I'm doing bad. I'm getting a lot of the tasting notes and the qualities, but the actual construction and bottles, I'm not doing well. So it is what it is. Please like this video if you're hanging out right now. And remember, every $5 that you super chat gets you one entry or multiple entries to win the Penelope Barrel Strength Batch 6 and a bunch of really awesome samples, which I can get into if you guys want. But yeah, it does have a pepper note. That's yeah. And so that led me down the rye path. Because yeah, sometimes these wheaters have this extra spice kick in them. And that must be one. Oh my God, yeah, everybody's a wrench. Matt, you're right. I haven't been looking at the YouTube chat. I've been looking at the StreamYard chat. And yeah, everybody's a wrench. Tim says, hey, just stopping by to say hi. I'm celebrating my 4-year anniversary tonight. Cheers. Cheers to you too. That's awesome. Congratulations. In the end, you will win. Yeah, right now I'm sucking. I feel like I'm getting worse because I'm just really overthinking things. So I do still get Octomore at the end. I do. Eric, what's up, man? Good to see you. I will try to use the Force. I will try. Okay, last two sips here. Or last two glasses, rather. Glass D. I'm going to need more in here. Actually, you know what? I'm not, because I'm pretty... Oh, shit. I dropped the cap. Hang on. Pause for 2 seconds. I don't want to spill this sample everywhere. Okay. There we go. So for Glass D, I feel like I had this nailed down, although I could be totally wrong. I said this is a Kentucky bourbon as opposed to New York or Texas whiskey. Age, I said 10 years. And this has that turkey peanut butter quality. I feel confident that this is a Russell's 10 year. So let's check it out. What? What? Elijah Craig 18. So I had the proof right at 90 proof if I'm thinking Russell's 10. Yeah, I guess there is more oak than a Russell's 10, but that peanut butter note and that oak funk led me down the Russell's 10 path. Dang, you sent me an Elijah 18. That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. And now that I taste it, it's like, of course that's older than 10 years. At least I got Kentucky right. The peanut butter quality in there, that's like what the giveaway is for the Kentucky stuff for me. Whether it's Heaven Hill or Wild Turkey, a lot of those different whiskeys will have that sort of peanut butter note. All right, last one, Glass E. Why am I so low on Glass E? All right, I need to pour a little bit more Glass E. I feel like I had Glass E pretty nailed, that it's either a Weller Antique or a Weller Full Proof. I said it was from Buffalo Trace as opposed to Heaven Hill or Craft on the nose. And on the palate, I said the proof was 105, but I'm upping that a little bit with my guess that this is a Weller Full Proof. Let's check this out. Oh, okay. It's a Stiegl Rare 50-50 blend of Stag Junior Batch 6 and Eagle Rare, which clocks in at 111.3 proof, which is 3% ABV higher than I called at 105 and 3% ABV lower than my bottle call, which was the Weller Full Proof at, Weller Full Proof is 114. So this was like basically right in the middle, more or less, of what I called of those two things, 111.3 proof. But I did get that it was Buffalo Trace, and I was within 6 proof points of the proof. So that's not so bad, actually. That's not so bad. Half Eagle Rare, half Batch 6 Stag Junior, which is the hot batch, the 132.5. No. What's the proof of that one? I can't remember, but it's the hot batch that Hot Child in the City, Amy, as you put on the last blind. Interesting. That's pretty darn good. It's so bubblegum and so candy cherry and grape. That is really, really good, Amy. Yeah. All right. So I don't feel so bad about that one. The others, I've got some work to do, guys. Dave says, what do you think about the blend? That's a spectacular blend. I might sip some more of that. I mean, it's really good. So Stag Batch 6, which is let's just drink the damn thing. Stag Batch 6, which is a hot batch with Eagle Rare. I would have not expected those to work as well together, but let me actually kind of take a look at them now. Come on, here we go. Having trouble with this cap. Let me actually kind of analyze it a little bit more, than just trying to answer these questions. Yeah, it's got that burnt caramel, sticky, sweet, syrupy candy note in here that you get from a lot of Stag Juniors. A good bit of sweet oak presence that's in there. It still smells hot. Now that I'm really getting into it, it really does smell hotter than 111 proof, because that Stag Batch 6 is taking the lead. But still so darn sweet. I feel like it's probably rounding the edges out of the Stag Batch 6 in a really good way. So the palate has great development too. Yeah, all the way through. It just crescendos the entire time. That's a really good blend. So I've never done that. I've never done any Stag Junior half and half with Eagle Rare, but I've got to say I probably recommend that now. Maybe I'll do a version of that with all of my Stag Junior batches and see which one is best, because that would just be fun and nerdy. Yeah, Amy, that was a great flight. Yeah, you did trick me. I mean, what's funny is like the bottles that you chose, they're not that obscure. I mean, Makers 101 is interesting. Isaac Bowman, I feel like I should have been closer on that, to be honest. Woodford Wheat Whiskey, no way would I have gotten that. Oh, that's a wheat whiskey. That's not a wheated whiskey. Oh, so I did not. That's not a bourbon. I didn't even get that. I didn't realize. That's an actual wheat whiskey, not a wheated. Okay. The Elijah Craig 18. That's not that complicated. I don't own a bottle and I've only had it once. And then Stiegel Rare. That's definitely tricky. But the Buffalo Trace quality of that is pretty obvious. John, peace out, man. Good to see you. Thank you so much. We got to do the drawing for the giveaway. So if you want to get in any final super chats for the giveaway, which, as a reminder, is the Penelope Barrel Strength Batch 6 plus 6 to 8 really awesome samples. I've got a box here of samples. I don't know what they're going to be. It's like I've got like an Old Carter Batch 4 bourbon, Kentucky Owl Batch 3 rye, Chateau de Labade, Augusta Buckner 13-year-old single barrel cast strength Barton. I've got a lot of really good stuff I'm going to throw in this sample pack. So that is all going to come with, again, the Penelope Barrel Strength Batch 6 for every $5 super chat. Let's say that you have until 10:09. No, let's say 10:10 p.m. my time. So about 4 minutes from now to get any final super chats in, and then we will immediately do the drawing. And thank you again, Adriana, for keeping track of the super chats. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't know how many people we have thus far, but if you want to get in on it, got one prize, one grand prize. So there you have it. Let's see. JG says, I think it will do better if you were not rushed to start. Yeah, today was a little bit of a rush for sure. Get in on those super chats, says Adriana. Yes, please, please. Nick says, I blend a poor man's 4-grain, but I use Weller Antique, Knob Creek Store Pick, and Stag Junior to make it higher proof. That's interesting. That's interesting. I might have to try that. Let's see. Adam says that was a great curveball, like one which that something like Matt might actually do. I think so as well. Matt says, good luck on the performance tomorrow. Got to run. Really enjoyed this. Keep Amy around. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you so much, man. And cheers. Have a good rest of your night. Daniel P., 2 more super chats. He says, those samples sound good. Yeah, they're going to be some really freaking good samples. So, absolutely. And Austin's jumping in here with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Austin. You rock, man. Amy, Stiegel Rare. Really good. Got a little cork floating in here. I don't know if it's your Eagle Rare or your Stag. I would think it's probably your Stag Junior Batch 6 cork that's fallen apart a little bit, because that's an older batch for sure. Getting a little fiber from this one. Cohen says, how old is that Penelope? Is it sourced? Yes, I believe it's 3.5 to 4.5-year-old MGP. It's a 4-grain blend of MGP. And in that blend, I can't remember the exact mash bill, but when you actually blend the wheated mash and the rye mash from MGP, it's actually a very low rye content in the end of all things. So, it's really going to appeal to people who love MGP stuff. It has a very distinct barrel char note in it. I can tell you that much right now. The bottle's developing still for me, and I'm going to be putting out a review soon. But I'm going back and forth on it because it's kind of all over the place. With that 4-grain blend, you tend to get a lot of different characteristics from the wheat and the rye. So it's very interesting. But yeah, it's a young MGP. Retails about $60. And yeah, so 3.5 to 4.5-year-old MGP is what it seems like they've blended there for a low rye 4-grain mash bill. Thank you, Richie Z. I appreciate it. Big League Bourbon, what's up? How you doing? Ryan says, what are the glasses you're using? These are called Highland nosing glasses. If you look that up on Amazon, Highland nosing glass, you'll come across these on a short stem. And I really prefer these to Glencairns. Although those of you who know me and know the channel, I talk a lot of smack about Glencairns, at least just for me. I've been getting into Glencairns a little bit recently, but I still prefer these things. They dissipate the alcohol 10 to 15% more. And I really think they're better for me when I'm nosing and tasting things. Amy says, I know that Stiegelware is legit. Probably drank half the Stag Junior blend. I mean, Amy, you're right. This is super, super good. And I still have a little bit left of that Stag Junior Batch 6 sample that you sent me from the last flight. So maybe I'll compare these. Well, I don't have that much left. Let me put this back in the sample bottle. I'm going to compare them on my own time. Got just a little bit left here. Yeah, probably like a quarter of an ounce. Okay, guys, it's 10:10 p.m. here for me on the East Coast, Eastern time, I should say. The giveaway is ready to go. Adriana, give me the thumbs up that you have everybody accounted for on the Super Chats side of things on a numbered sheet, and I will ask Siri to pick us a number, and we will get the winner of tonight's giveaway. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of, oh, shit, I still have to do Kentucky Spirit. All right, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I want to do the giveaway first because I know some people want to get out of here. They might want to watch Clifton on Bourbon Bites and all that kind of stuff. But I am going to stay on and compare a couple of Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit picks with the Shelfer. We went a little longer than I thought. I'm sorry I'm so long-winded. But I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to friggin' do it. Adriana says 1 to 37. Thank you all so much again for super chatting and for all of the support. Let's do it. 1 through 37. Hey, Siri. Please pick a number between 1 and 37.
A random number between 1 and 37 is 16.
All right, Adriana. 16 is the winner of tonight's giveaway for some sweet samples and the Penelope Barrel Strength Batch 6. So let me know who 16 is. Number 16. Colin, I'm working on that. That is next up on the agenda before t-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing some nosing glasses because I think that's kind of like my signature thing. I feel like for the channel, the googly eyes and those glasses, people tend to gravitate towards the most. Oh, Mike Meyer, what's up? Winner of the giveaway tonight. You can never call me Adriana again. Congrats, Mike Meyer. Congrats, man. Hey, Mike, let me know that you're still on here, and then send me an email at drumsanddrams@gmail.com with your address, and I will get that out to you by Monday at the absolute latest. I tend to go to FedEx on Mondays. So let me know that you're still in here. Otherwise, we'll get a hold of you if you're not. We'll try to at least. Let's see. Okay. All right. I don't know if Mike is in here. Let's see. I don't know that Mike is in here, guys. We will, Adriana, we might draw a backup if Mike's not on here, but I think, I mean, we'll just wait. We'll wait throughout the stream to see if he's still hanging out. Okay, he is. He is here. Okay, good. I just didn't see him in here. Okay. It's Rye Time says, I just had the Penelope Batch 6 today. So good. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm basically at this point buying 2 of every bottle. And I'm just like, I'll give that. I'll buy 2 and I'll give 1 away whenever I can get something that's like somewhat hard to find. Penelope, we don't get in Ohio, so I had to order it online. So, Adriana says, Clifton is doing a fundraiser over on Bourbon Bites for National Parks Foundation. Go support after this. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to try to get through the rest of the stream quickly. I'm talking fast now. Austin. Okay. I'm going to work on this. I have someone I need to email about making these glasses. I will do this. I will do this very soon. It's good to know that there is interest. Okay. I think I'm caught up. Shouldn't you say between 0 and 38, says Eric. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I feel like an idiot. Yeah, no, he definitely should still win it. He definitely should. So I want to make sure, no matter what it takes, we'll get in touch with Mike, and Mike will be the winner of tonight's giveaway. Yeah, we got to do this, Colin. We got to do this. I need to talk to my designer and get a new thing made with the googly eyes. I think that would be cool. Oh, Drew, that's an interesting point. He's right, as between 1 to 37 excludes the first and last number. Does it really? I would have to check on that and see what if Siri actually follows those rules. Because you're right, the wording of that between 1 and 37. What do you guys think? Should I re-roll that 0 to 38 between 0 and 30? I don't know that Siri is going to be that specific, but that is an interesting point. We might roll with it. Yeah, Drew, I know you're right to bring this up. That's a really great point, actually. But I feel like, as Adam says, I feel like Siri knows that we're stupid, and whoever's programmed that, I would assume, has included that in the mix, because it would be very uncommon for anybody else to actually think about that. But Eric, you're right. Okay, let's do it. Let's do a test. Hey Siri, pick a number between 68 and 70.
A random number between 68 and 70 is 69.
Hey Siri, pick a number between 68 and 70.
A random number between 68 and 70 is 68.
Siri will pick the first number in the range, so we are fine. Mike Meyer is the winner tonight. I had to test that theory, though, Eric. No, I wouldn't take it away from him tonight. Absolutely not. But this is a great experiment here. Okay, and Adriana says, I've had Google pick the boundary number before. Don't know about Siri. Apple's that is funny. But Eric, we got a little 69 action. And then we got a little 68 action. No, Drew, you're good. No worries, man. I'm so glad you called that out. I would have never thought about it. Okay, guys, let's drink a little Kentucky Spirit, and then we're going to call it a night. Got to get some fresh glasses up in here. Let me kill the old maple syrup. Well, I'm going to grab a fresh glass. I only have 2 fresh glasses in front of me, and I have 3 samples to drink of Kentucky Spirit. Okay. 3 fresh glasses. Aiden Craig, what's up, man? Good to see you. And your Weller Antique is on the way. It is on the way. I think the delivery date got bumped to Saturday, but it should be there on Saturday. Drew, enjoyed it, Cam. Thanks a bunch, and we'll check in again on your next stream. Thank you so much, man. Cheers to you. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, I'm going to pour out a little bit of my Shelfer Kentucky Spirit. Even though it's a Shelfer, it's still a single barrel, so could have some variance here. And then these are all 101 proof, obviously Wild Turkey. I have a Warehouse E-Pick that Keith Schmidt sent. And I have a Warehouse S-Pick that Tom Lynch sent. So let's see how these 3 Kentucky Spirit single barrels compare. Aiden says, "Did you get the Venmo payment?" For the antique. Yes. Yeah, I got it. I guess I should have confirmed that. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I got that, and it is on the way. Hope it arrives safely. Richie says, Kentucky Spirit is Turkey 101, but more complex and delicious. Yes. Speaking of which, let me grab a fourth glass so I can put some 101 in there. I have now officially used up all of my clean glasses of this kind for tonight. Okay. So all of them are the same proof, and the Kentucky Spirits are a single barrel, and the 101 is obviously a blend. All right, guys. Let's start with the Wild Turkey 101. Yeah, that cinnamon, that slight peanut butter, that cherry. Really alcoholic, really aggressive on the nose in a good way, not in a necessarily young way. All right, Turkey 101 on the palate. Caramel actually comes through now, a little bit of barrel char. Cinnamon ramps up with some black pepper, and then it fades into a peanut butter and now a little bit of oak. So I know why people love Wild Turkey 101. I love Wild Turkey 101. Really, really great stuff. Nick says, fourth glass. This is where he falls off the stack of books. Yeah. I look like if you could see the actual, if you could see anything except for what I'm showing you on the screen right now, it would look ridiculous because it's very DIY tonight, especially with the books that I'm sitting on. Mojo 88 says it came to Pennsylvania. It was okay for young juice, but not great though. Yeah, if you talk about the Kentucky Spirit, we will see. We will see. Adriana says, "Yep, absolutely. If you want to jump over there now, I totally understand. But Clifton is doing an awesome fundraiser. It sounds like this evening. I will make that happen, Adriana. Okay, let's go to the Shelfer version. This has been opened now for 10 months. I got it last summer. This is Kentucky Spirit from South Carolina, I believe, but it's the Shelfer version, not a store pick. That exists, right? I believe that exists. Unless, yeah, I think the other ones are specific picks. Yeah, and this one is Warehouse K. So Warehouse K. I'm going to put it next to the 101. Oh, 101 is more corn grain forward. So younger, basically. Yeah, a little bit of, like, compared to the 101, the Kentucky Spirit almost has a honey note in comparison. I wouldn't call that note by itself because it's not Buffalo Trace honey or anything like that, but it has a little bit of that because it's more rounded, especially in the grain profile here. And a lot more cherry on the Kentucky Spirit because the grain and the aggressive black pepper and the cinnamon gets out of the way a little bit and allows it to reveal that fruitiness. Yeah. So much softer on the palate. If I say smooth, you'll smack me. I know. Compared to the 101, this is just more sophisticated, more refined. And that's the Shelfer version. And honestly, when I drink it by itself, I'm not that impressed. But when you put it next to the 101, it's a very interesting comparison to know that the proof is the same and that the profile can be that different, just with a little bit of age and obviously the quality of the single barrel. Richie says Kentucky Spirit barrels are honey type barrels. Interesting. Yeah. Rick says, I like big books and I cannot lie. I'm sitting on some big old books right now, Rick. All of my music textbooks from college is what I'm sitting on at this point. Hang on. It's hilarious. It is rounded and delicious, especially compared to the 101. Okay, so my control is going to be my Shelfer version. Let's move on now to the Kentucky Spirit Warehouse E pick from Keith Schmidt. So Warehouse K is my control. Now let's go to Warehouse E. Oh, wow. A little more Cracker Jack in Warehouse E. Yeah, like more nuttiness, more Cracker Jack note. Less fruit, less cherry going on this pick. But actually some grape. And I've never really gotten grape on a Wild Turkey product. All right, let's try it on the palate. Okay. Before I make any judgments, let me go back to the control. Wow. Nice long finish. Nice long finish on that. Back to Warehouse K, control. I think I prefer Warehouse K because it has an extra dimension of fruitiness. Even though it's the shelfer, the Cracker Jack note in the Warehouse E store pick is a little plain to me. It's a little predictable, a little more Heaven Hill-like in some ways than Wild Turkey. And while it does have a great long finish, I think I prefer the cherry and the fruity profile of the shelfer at this point. All right, and let's wrap up this comparison by now checking out Warehouse S. And I've had a lot of Russell's picks from Warehouse S. Let's try the Kentucky Spirit Warehouse S pick here. Oh, this one's very soft on the nose. Let's put it next to the other store pick. Yeah, Cracker Jack all the way. And back to Warehouse S. Warehouse S is just almost too soft on the nose, too honeyed and mellow. Interesting. Yeah. It's almost like my shelfer, which is the K, Warehouse K. It's got that same cherry quality, pretty much the same exact qualities, but just almost like a lower proof on the nose for some reason. Mm. The palate, though. Oh, wow. The palate is very sweet. This actually has that Russell's peanut butter note that I'm used to. In a great oak profile at the end. And this is Warehouse S. This is an Ohio state pick, which usually those things suck. That's great. Mm. All right. This is weird. Weirdly enough, I'm going to say of my Kentucky Spirit, the two samples of store picks that I have, plus my shelfer, I'm going to say my shelfer is the better pick from Warehouse K. I would have not guessed that. I think this is actually a pretty solid pick compared to the others. In second place, Warehouse S. This pick from the Ohio State Liquor Agency, amazing. And in last place, the Warehouse E pick, which is very Cracker Jack forward, a little predictable, a little too Heaven Hill for me and off profile. And it's just, I like that fruitiness that's coming from the other two bottles. So for what it's worth, then you go back to Turkey 101 and it's like a corn grain fest. And it's got that sort of distinct sugar in the raw note. If you ever see those brown packets at the restaurant, sugar in the raw, it's almost got that on the nose. Yeah. So I really respect Kentucky Spirit a lot more now. I still am not going to reach for it all the time, but I feel lucky in that my shelfer is actually better than a couple of store picks that I have, at least in my opinion. So they do vary quite a bit, it seems like, in the single barrel quality of the Kentucky Spirits. My barrel seems very animated and fruit forward. The Warehouse S pick in second place is just a slightly tamer version of that, and the Warehouse E pick in third place, very off profile from the other two, and Crackerjack forward. So that's what I think about these Kentucky Spirit picks. Very interesting. OHL Poo. Well, it came in second, Nick. It came in second. So does it become control bourbon if you put it in a sippy cup? Oh my God, that's amazing. Paul, how much of Moby Dick can you play? Zero. I mean, I need to listen to it and then maybe I could play it. But at this point, zero, because I don't know Moby Dick, unfortunately. Smooth like those book covers. Yes, I am sitting on a very smooth book cover. Okay, guys, last thing to do for this evening. I don't know if Carl's still here, and I don't know if Uta is still here. The Massey family. They probably are not. But I'm going to drink some Octomore to end my night. And for those of you bourbon drinkers who do not know Octomore, Octomore is insanely peated scotch. It is pretty young, typically. And it is cask strength from Brooklady. This is Octomore. I can already smell it. I just opened the sample bottle. This is Octomore 8.1 Masterclass, 8 years old, 59.3% ABV, and is 167 ppm, parts per million, phenol content, which means it's pretty darn peated. So I'm going to drink this to end my night, and then I'm going to bounce out of here, and you will. I'll let you get on with your night. Oh, Uta is still here, fighting sleep, but still here. Paul says Octomore is the real deal. Yes, it is. So this is the Masterclass. I believe this tied the 7.1. This is the 8.1. I believe it tied the 7.1 in my last tasting, if I can recall. And the 6.1 seemed a little too young, a little too smoked meat forward, maybe. Because it's late and I got up way early. Great stream. Thank you. All right. Daniel says, just tried Octomore for the first time last month. I think it was 10.4. I can nose it at arm's length. Awesome, Carl. Awesome. All right. I'm very excited about this. My nose might need like 30 seconds to adjust to this scotch, you know. All right. Man. First thing I get from a little distance is an amazingly sweet pineapple note. Oh, yeah. Pineapple and possibly a little bit of like underripe pear or green apple or something like that along with it in terms of the fruity content of this. Moving in the peat smoke here is a little bit. It's not campfire at all. It's a little bit of an industrial peat smoke. It's a little ashy. It's ashy, but not campfire. I don't know if that makes sense. It's an ashy peat note, a little bit of an industrial peat note. It's got sort of that wet gravel minerality to it. But, oh man, slight smoked meat note. But again, with those really sweet pineapple and tropical fruit notes and maybe that underripe pear or apple, really balanced, actually. Oh, my goodness. And a slight rubber, but it's not overpowering. It's not Lafroig or anything like that. Yeah, so good. I think it's interesting when you get a scotch that's this peated, but also this high ABV, to start nosing it here and bring it in and see how it evolves, because it really will evolve from that distance of like 6 inches to your nose. I love that process. I think it's great. Carl says, I get more smoked meat than you're describing. Interesting. Yeah, I'm almost getting like, I mean, I get the smoked meat, but I'm almost getting grilled pineapple, like grilled pineapple notes all the way now that I'm really getting into it. And Carl, I don't know anything about the construction of this whiskey. Is there any sherry finished whiskey blended in here? I feel like I'm getting a slight red fruit note along the way. I could be wrong, though. Richie, I will taste peat in the morning. Let's do it on the palate. Oh, the palate is definitely more smoked meat. Carl, you're right. Oh, yeah. It's like ham. It's like smoked ham. Smoked ham and pineapple. Oh, it's really sweet into the finish, though. No sherry that I'm aware of. Okay. I could be crazy on that. There just seemed like a flash of red fruit in there somewhere. Wow. The palate is so powerful. And last time I tasted this, I had this with the 6.1 and the 7.1. And so the gradations of peat smoke, of flavor profile, of proof, of ppm, all of that came into play between the three pours. Tonight, it's on its own. So there's no great comparison for me here. And so those tropical fruit notes are standing out. The smoked meat on the palate now is standing out. The ashiness is standing out. But it's also just very sweet along with everything else. And Paul says, smoked meat, that's porn. Whiskey porn. Wow. Oh, it's so intense and so good. Wow. I think, yeah, I'm going to stand by that. Up front, it hits with all of the spice in the peat smoke. This white pepper note ramps up throughout the palate. And that presents all of those savory, peaty notes even more prominently into the mid palate. It crescendos. And then as it starts to fade away into the finish, it gets sweeter and sweeter for me. And it sort of devolves back into those tropical fruit notes, and it just mingles with the peat very nicely into the finish. Spectacular. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, Adriana, we're going to have to get in touch with Mike Meyer. I'm going to have to find Mike on a different stream and make sure. I got the Scotch belches now, no longer the bourbon belches. I'm going to have to talk to Mike and make sure he gets that giveaway. Colin says, leave that glass out overnight and visit it again in the morning. Crazy development on the Octomores over time. Interesting. Colin, I'm assuming I should cover it, though. Should I cover it or just let it sit out? If I sit out, it's going to probably be real funky in the morning. Robotic, what's up? What is up? Late, but didn't miss this completely. Yeah, now I'm drinking peated scotch and ripping my face off in the best way possible. We will find him. Yeah, we'll find him. Yeah, and the minerality, I'm coming back to that now. That wet gravel, granite, just mineral note in here that I think really accentuates. Like when I get a really mineral forward peated scotch, that's when I start thinking industrial. For whatever reason, it makes me think of the word industrial when I think of the peat smoke quality. So, oh, interesting. So maybe I'll leave it out covered overnight and come back to it in the morning. I'm sure at 59.3 and 167 ppm, it can probably handle sitting out that long. Belches, skelches, says Nick. Makes me think of hard well water. Yes, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, we don't have that here, but I actually grew up on the Ohio River, southeast part of Ohio. And down there, it's not necessarily well water, but it's definitely hard water. The elementary school I went to had well water. So sort of combining my childhood memories there between my school and like my grandparents' house where I grew up. Yeah, it reminds me of that water. Absolutely. Yeah, Carl, you're right. It's faint rubber though. It's not bad. Like, and it's actually a really pleasant quality to the whiskey. Where in Lefroy gets so overpowering, 309 ppm. See, I want to try the craziest peated Scotch out there, and I think the 0.3s. Those are the more peated ones, right? I would love to try some of those and see what those are like, because the ones I have here, the peat level, it just helps the whiskey, so I'd be curious to try some of those extremely peated versions. All right, last sip here of the Octomore, 8.1. Oh my God, I just want to pour more of this. It's so good. The 0.3 of the highest ppm in general. Okay. I am so excited to get back. I'm already kind of back into Scotch more than I have been the last month or 4 at this point. I'm excited to get really back into Scotch and start doing a lot of regular reviews on it because, I just think it's largely more interesting than bourbon, unfortunately. But yeah, this Octomore is just amazing. So amazing. Well, the 6.3, that's interesting. The 6.1 sample that I have, I feel like that's a younger whiskey. So I don't know about the 6.3 compared to the 6.1, but if it's a younger whiskey, I could imagine that would accentuate the peat quality even more. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for hanging out. Mike Meyer won tonight's giveaway. I am going to have to track him down with the help of Adriana, probably. I will track down Mike Meyer and make sure he gets the Penelope barrel strength along with some really awesome samples. Thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. Went a little bit longer than I thought it would. I feel like I say that all the time. So I should probably start adding 15 to 30 minutes onto every stream I do in my head. But I know it was a different time tonight, and we still had a really great turnout. And I appreciate you all so much for being here. So thank you. Gosh, we covered a lot of ground. A blind tasting of 5 pours, 3 Kentucky Spirits, and a Wild Turkey 101, and an Octomore. That's 10 pours. I didn't drink all of them, but I might be feeling this in the morning. So thank you all so much. I'm going to check the chat one last time. Colin says, I feel like it's also possibly diminishing returns after. Yeah, that, and I haven't had that point yet, so I need to experience that before I can make a judgment on it. But yes. Sherry, you got to do it. That's a great blend, especially the batch 6, but I'm going to do a 50-50 blend with all of my batches in sample bottles and see how they turn out. Batch 12 through 15 and see what goes on. Woo, the chat just blew up. Adam says, don't rush your streams. They are full of great info. Thank you. That's awesome. The weirdness about the streams is that you don't get feedback verbally from other people. So you can't, it's not like you're having a conversation, so you can't pace it in the way that you would pace a conversation. Sometimes for me, I feel like I'm going too long. I'm talking too fast. I'm doing this or that. So it's good to have that feedback. If you are here still hanging out of the 27, please check out Clifton right after this on Bourbon Bites doing a fundraiser. Always amazed at the Whiskey Tube community and how we can raise money for amazing causes. Say hi. Good night, man. Yeah, good night to you as well. Thank you for jumping in here. I appreciate you saying what's up. Thanks, everybody. Paul, thank you so much. That is awesome. I really appreciate it. Stigo Rare Blind. Daniel, that might happen on a future stream. Let's make it happen. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm out of here. Cheers to all of you. I'm going to end with, let's see, what do I have available? Screw it. Let's pour a little Octomore in the glass. Cheers to all of you with this last pour of this Octomore sample. Thank you, Carl, for sending this along. And I'll see you next time on Drums and Drams. 12 p.m. tomorrow. New video drops Eastern time. Cheers.